Oh, look, there's people here.
Yeah, there's 7.
There's already people here. And it's not switching to us, Steve. I hate software. I really do.
I think they can hear us.
Yeah, oh, they can hear us.
Hey, people.
Hello, while I fix
11,
things.
all 11 of you. Does it say the number? Oh, it says the number in here. 12. We're up to
Yeah,
12.
up to
One
12.
of one of those is me. Is one of those you?
No, one of those is not me. Oh, here we go. I think. That's me.
That's you. Oh God, that. Eesh.
And the other is not you, Steve. So, I don't understand. I'm hitting the button to add you. It's just not.
Do I need to hang up and rejoin?
No, I don't think so. I think I just need to be better at technology, is all it really amounts to. It's fine, y'all. We'll get this. We'll get this sorted eventually. See, I can go back to this.
That's
Steve,
weird.
yeah, Steve, I'm hitting the button that normally works to do this. Um,
Hopefully,
it's
we don't have.
so, y'all. If we didn't
Well,
have technical difficulties, we wouldn't be doing this.
let me just hang up and try it again.
Okay.
But it's probably on your end. But I'll
Oh,
do
it's
it anyway.
almost certainly on my end. All right, y'all. So, I could do cardboard Steve, but I don't have a cardboard Steve. I wish I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna eventually get a cardboard Steve. No, that didn't fix it, Steve. That's
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
We're gonna figure this out. Um, it is a weird thing. Like all of the things that I normally um push to do this aren't working now.
Because this is just like a button on the eCam page,
Yeah,
right?
this is just a button, and it's the one I've always pressed to add you in. And I can't even solo you. It says I click solo, but it doesn't actually do it. So no. Let's see. I'm pushing all of the buttons, Joshua. I promise, because I know y'all all rather see Steve than me. See, I can go to that.
Do you have OSB?
I do. Oh, look at. Wow, that was weird. I got you
You
there.
know,
No,
nope.
no, that's not the live. That is just. Hey, is that it? Did I get it? No, I don't think anybody can see.
Nope. I'm just
See,
here.
I got you on the screen here. Oh, it's in preview mode. Oh, that's weird. I don't want it in preview mode. Back to live mode. Publish changes. Oh, I got it!
Oh, so it was your fault.
I've never had to hit those buttons before, ever. This is what scares me every time this app adds an update. I already don't know how to run it. So then they change things. So, all right, y'all. More technical difficulties than an 80s shred album. That is
Oh
true.
gosh.
So, Steve, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
Um,
tired.
yeah,
I fell asleep at like 3 in the morning last night.
same. But your 3 in the
No, I
morning would have been 5 in the morning for me.
3, 5, what? Maybe 2, maybe 2:30.
Okay, okay. So only 4:30 my time. I had only been in bed for an hour and a half at that point. Um,
I feel like I'm too zoomed in. Let me adjust this.
okay.
Oh, wrong way.
Get more zoomed in.
Whatever.
I know, I know, I know. So, listeners, it's not just listeners, viewers. How are y'all? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I'm covering everything. I think. I don't want to other things, but I don't know all of the holidays. Merry Yule, I think is the right term. If you practice. Um, It's been an interesting season.
Damn,
It,
we got pedal people in the
I
we got
know.
both
What's
fuzz
up?
amp and gear amp in a gear amp. God, I can't say words today.
It's okay.
Uh,
Words are
I,
hard.
I'm gonna drop a link for the folks who are already here. I'm gonna drop a link later. We're gonna have Mercedes back on the show, who we had on
Yeah.
a few months back to talk about some NAM stuff. But I keep calling her Meredith for the last like 5 days. I've been calling her Meredith. And I'm
It's
like,
fine.
in my head, I'm like, why do I think this woman's name is Meredith? Like, it just doesn't, I don't know, man. My brain's broken.
Hey,
Um,
Garant, thanks for the birthday. I appreciate it.
but good morning. Let's see who else is in here. Martian Murray, Mark Spurgeon, Josh, who told you to hit more buttons and
Uh huh.
eventually was correct. You just needed to hit more
Just
buttons.
needed to hit more buttons. That's my
Um,
philosophy with pedal boards too.
yeah,
Michael Kraus got Ian Johnston. Rob F, my 1700th subscriber on YouTube. Um,
nice. Bad Joke Gaming. Hello. Oh, and Amanda Coombs.
yeah, what's up, Amanda? Tiki Flamingo Chickens up in here. What is up, everybody? Ted Jackal, not Jackie. That is an L. I don't have my glasses on because they glare when we live stream, so I don't wear them. Uh, Therefore, occasionally I can't read something. Um, so Steve,
Yes.
it's been a weird couple of weeks in guitar and gear.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has been a
Did
yeah.
I'm still, well, at some point we always talk back end.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm gonna get into the back end like pretty out the gate. um so YouTube performance versus uh other forms of social video content creation, it's so weird and kind of unpredictable, right?
Right.
So let's see, 2 weeks ago Ryan made a video called "Oh No, What Happened to This Guitar."
That video.
It has 22,000 views, which it's a good number. Like, that's not a bad
No,
number, but
that's a good number. Y'all's channel doesn't even average that per video, I
but
don't think.
but we were definitely hoping for something along the lines of some of those, like, I think the original, well, I know the original Epiphone SL video is our highest view
Y'all can't
count video.
recreate that. Y'all can't recreate
Well,
that.
that was even like that was the actual main unboxing. I don't know if there's like other videos in that series that also did well. But I think we were hoping for, something bigger, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Ryan has clipped that thing into 6
Shorts?
shorts, and 2 of those have effectively, I think, as far as the guitar space is concerned, it's fair to say that they've gone viral.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly 700, and I think they're both at about 720,000 views each.
Yeah, dude. We're in a text message thread. Um,
Yeah,
you and
yeah.
I and Steve
Well,
and Ryan
yeah,
and when that video
and
came
Jason.
out and Jason. So actually Jason's gonna be we're gonna mention Jason here in a little bit. The we I as soon as that video came out, I messaged that group and said, Ryan, you have to clip these. Like there are moments in here that are comic gold that are going to infuriate people, and you have to clip these
Yeah,
because
yeah,
nobody's gonna. I didn't sit through the whole video. I had to watch it in segments because it's just too long. I'll be really honest. It's a little cringy at points, but it is. It just is
it's
what it
only
is.
it's only 26 minutes long.
That's
It's not
too
even that
long. That
long.
is way too. Dude, I don't have that attention span. Um, so when he clipped it though, dude, the clip where he pulls the headstock off is the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's so it's like, I don't know what to say, except we're looking at comments. Half the comments, I would say, like 80% of the comments get it. 10% of the comments think it's a real Rickenbacker and are like,
Oh my gosh,
Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker.
People are getting mad that we called it a Rickenbacker because they're like it's not pronounced like Orville Redenbacher, but I'm like I thought it was.
It was pronounced one way, and then the guy whose name it was realized that Americans say it differently, and he changed the way he pronounces it to the way Americans pronounce it. So
Which is
both
Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker. So both are correct. Both are
Great,
correct.
great. Oh, fun thing I learned. Speaking of, I didn't know Fanta is actually Nazi Coke.
What?
That's a thing I learned this morning. That is true. So when the Coca-Cola Company, when World War II started, the U.S. well, not when it started, but in like 1941, when the European front started for like the U.S. Uh, the the U.S. government, cut off connection to Germany.
Sure.
So the German Coca-Cola company, like the German branch of Coca-Cola, was on their own. So they had to basically come up with their own Coke formulation because they couldn't get this. They weren't getting the syrup imported from the U.S. anymore,
Oh,
and
weird.
they didn't actually know how to make it. So they had to like make it on their own, and they were encouraged to like make a new brand. So the new brand was Fanta because it was the uh, translation of the word fantasy,
Oh my gosh. Okay, I get it.
which was fantasy. I'm not sure
I
how
don't know. I don't speak German.
fantasy apparently is how it's pronounced, and
I
so
I speak the other
uh,
language that came out of German.
now the classic orange Fanta was invented in Italy in the 1950s. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
there's actually a Fanta Cola that replaced Coke in Germany because they couldn't get actual Coke, but it's the same people. So yeah, Fanta, Nazi Coke. That,
That's
that
interesting.
that's the takeaway.
Interesting. So I don't really have a rebuttal to this, except that there's something I learned something weird about Aldi. Like
There's two
Aldi,
of them.
yeah, there's two of
Yeah.
them. One became Albertsons and one became Aldi or something like that.
Oh, is that I don't know. I just know that some of the Aldis are actually called the ones in the US I think are Aldi Sud.
Yep.
Um
And Aldi Nor or whatever the word for North is the other one, and
yeah.
that became Albertsons in the U.S. or
Oh,
in
that
North
I didn't.
America. I
Aldi
think.
Nord. Oh, maybe this is what you're thinking of. Aldi Nord owns Trader Joe's,
That's it. Trader Joe's. That's it. Trader Joe's, not
but
Albertsons.
apparently Trader Joe's uh operates independently, but it's owned. Winn Dixie is owned by Aldi Sud, so that's weird.
Oh yeah, interesting.
We don't. I don't have Winn Dixie, but I know.
Michael
There's
Krause. That was not a fun fact. No, it's never. It's never a fun fact when Nazis
a
are involved.
very fun fact.
um. Yeah. Let's talk about the
Hold on.
Behringer thing. Let's talk
Hold.
about this for a minute.
This
Cause
are you talking about this comment from Vincent?
yeah,
I
I want
don't
to.
know. I don't know what am I missing here? Am I missing something?
Uh, I don't think so. I think he's being funny.
Okay.
But I'm gonna
Okay.
share. I'm gonna try to share screen here. I don't know that it's gonna do it. Um, yes, it did it. Okay, so I'm excited whenever anything works, y'all. So we've got the Behringer Centaur Overdrive.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
So
this is a pedal that Ryan spoke into existence.
yeah, and I think what he's joking about is uh, it's a ripoff of the Warm Audio Centavo. As joke,
Mm.
irony, obviously. Work with me, Steve. Here, sarcasm.
I don't. Is the okay? So are any of the? I've never seen. I guess I haven't seen a real one in person. Maybe I have, and I just forgot. Is the warm audio box actually the same
It is
uh, as the
actually the
original?
same.
Okay. I know it's got like the double level thing, but because you only ever see it in pictures, it's hard to
Yeah.
get an actual take on scale.
I should say,
You know.
is it the same? Roughly. Like in the same way that the Chariotone is roughly the same.
Right.
There's
right.
some.
Like
There's
it,
some.
like if,
Well, if you look at
like
the Chariotone,
if you took a warm audio and you uh say you took a buffing wheel to the silk screen, would it, and then you put a new silk on it, would you, and that silk said Kalon, like, would people be able to know, would it be obvious that there's a difference?
no, it would not be obvious. Um, because so there's a couple of things. Oh, okay, I didn't plan to like fully get into this, but like one of the things with an original that some people miss, this finish is glossy, and
On the
on
Klon.
on the real Klon, this is
Okay.
not glossy.
Yeah, it is a slightly different color.
This is not glossy. Well, for what it's worth, so were Klons. You can actually
Oh, okay. I know there's
Klon
silver. I know
gold
silver Klon.
finish. I'm gonna see if I can find the image that I looked at before. I saw an image once that had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 Klons. There it is. This is from Decibelix. Look at this.
Mm.
These are all real Klons.
Interesting. So they have done more of like a brassy gold
Uh huh.
versus a orange, or I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Um.
It's weird, but it's gonna look different. Now I'm gonna put this out in the universe because I don't care. Um, I do have like this weird like want for a Klon, like a real one, but I'm never ever 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 gonna pay for a real Klon. But I want it to aesthetically look like one, so I'm
Hmm.
really really tempted to snag a Chariotone,
Hmm.
buff the finish so that it's glossy like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And actually, if I buff it, that's probably going to take the decals off of it. And
Right.
you can buy a silk screen of the proper graphics to
Hmm.
put on it. Now the difference is in say me doing this to something I own compared to someone counterfeiting one is I'm not going to try to sell it as a counterfeit.
Right. Are you gonna put an indicator somewhere on the box that it's like not that you just did this on your,
I
on
probably
your
will. I probably will. I'll be honest. If you open it up, it's obvious that one is not real and one is the other.
hmm
I
hmm
think on like the outer, no. On the inner, I will probably put something like a note, like a date that I did the mod or what. It's not a mod, but it's a graphic thing.
Yeah.
I probably will indicate on the inside, just so in the future it's never used as um, it's never sold as a clone, as a
Sure.
fake. Um, so going back to us there for a second.
I do want to hit this comment.
Uh huh.
Okay, never. I guess he did qualify. I didn't see it because Joshua Simonson said, "I trust Warm Audio to make faithful reproductions." But then he qualified, or faithful reproduction with some twist. Because I was going to say, like, Warm Audio in
They clone.
a lot of their ads, they actually say like, "Oh no, it's not actually a clone. It's, we did our own, like, it's mostly a clone."
It's
Uh,
it's a clone.
so even
Let's.
like actually, so I'm reading there, it's like the Warm Audio Centavo. What's more, the Centavo sports one of the most commonly found mods performed on the original selectable mod switch that kicks up the low end punch on your guitar's bottom strings.
I have never seen a modded real clone. I have
Well, it's
never
probably
heard
a
of anyone
mod.
modding one.
It's probably a mod on, uh, well, then it sounds like what you're actually saying is that the Centavo isn't a clone. It's actually a Tumnus clone.
Oh yeah, that would be a little more accurate.
Actually, the normal hot, I don't really think of that as a bass boost. It's just an
Yeah.
overall gain circuit. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know that we planned on talking about this morning.
We didn't plan
Uh,
anything. What are you talking
about
about?
the like ninth message I got from RJ this morning after after we talked about how he can look at, so we had made an original for the folks who see the shorts on the reels on Instagram or the shorts on YouTube. We had RJ make a short of when we talked about the Trump guitar, and people, of course, like, even though the RJ's edit is like the most neutral possible edit from our conversation, because the original edit was the one where we talked more about lawsuits and got more into the legal of it, and how
Yeah.
if Gibson actually did sue, they would, the only way that they could possibly go for Trump is if they just went for all endorsees. In the same way, actually, that when people tried to sue FTX, they also tried to sue like Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, 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 I remember
If
that.
you remember that. So that's my argument, is like, they, if you're suing Donald Trump, you're not you're just suing in a someone who sold their license. And I'm sure his lawyers, as incompetent as they do appear in other legal matters,
Yeah.
at least would be competent enough to write up contracts that say, we're selling you our namesake, and uh, otherwise we wash our hands of this. Um, but anyway, the original one was a much harsher take. And when we were making that, Ryan saw the original take and wrote up some notes that I sent to RJ, that he missed, because we were talking about another show, that a financial show that occasionally has people on it who are like, or women on it who want to be e-girls and OnlyFans and whatever. And so this morning, he sent me this reel that said the final form, the ultimate evolution in Pokemon terms, uh, of a thought is a religious woman. That, like, there's all these, basically the idea that there's all these people who were like wild in their 20s who become ultra religious in like their 30s. And then he says to me, I don't have any shorts to make today, so we can talk about thoughts now. All that to say, is, then he did say, coming back to the chat and what we were just talking about, he did say, how it's kind of interesting that Warm Audio does get a pass when Warm Audio is effectively Behringer. Like, and we
They are.
shit on Behringer as not, not you and I only, like as
No.
a industry,
Yeah.
guitar commenter people, uh, we dunk on Behringer all the time, but
Yeah,
Warm
for
Audio
what
is doing exactly the same
they're the
thing.
exact same thing. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and a lot of people love warm audio. It's the exact same business model. The only difference is the owners of Behringer are in Germany, and the owners of warm audio are in the U.S. That's the only
Yep.
difference.
Yep.
They're
And
probably made in the same factory.
I do really wonder if there's like a big difference in, well, doesn't Behringer own their factory?
Oh, maybe they do. I don't know. I've never done that
Um,
much deep diving onto Behringer.
for some reason I thought they did. So the other thing I would say is that I think price point actually has a lot to do with it. I
Yeah,
think the fact that Warm Audio sells their product uh
an American production price point.
well, it's like not quite an American production price point, but it's certainly not a Behringer production price
Yeah,
point. It's
yeah.
more, it's like, it's this float space. I do think, it does seem like there's a little more research going on, maybe on the Warm Audio side.
Maybe.
But well, I mean, if they're throwing in mods and stuff, those are coming from somewhere.
Yeah,
Um
they're coming from somewhere. Now I'm looking for. I wanted to talk about this while we're talking about Behringer, but it's not
mhm.
on. It's not on Sweetwater, and
Which
so
one?
the Vibe 69.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that one's in stores yet.
Yeah, it may not be yet. Yeah, it's a pre-order. It ships 2/28/2025.
Hmm.
Um,
It
and
looks
so.
like it's available at Alto Music, wherever that is.
Oh, really?
And that says free delivery by December 26th.
Ooh, Alto Music. Let's
Oh,
see.
but when you actually click on it, then it says pre-order
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
228.
Yeah, so
So
maybe they were available and now they're not. Um,
no, the picture is very clearly 3D mock-up. That's one of the whole things with this,
I switched the screen so folks
Behringer
can see it
pedals,
while we're talking about it.
all of these Behringer pedals that have been coming up, is I think almost all of the pictures, if not all of the pictures, it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, look at the shine on these knobs. That is
Yeah. Well,
not real.
even like the Behringer Centaur that you showed earlier, like that's a 3D mock-up.
Yeah.
These pedals don't exist.
I'm gonna be really honest here. I'm buying one of these as soon as I can. Uh,
Well,
I'm
right now is as
well,
soon as you
yeah, no, well, it's a pre-order.
can.
I'm not buying anything that I have to wait right now for 3 months for.
Right, right.
I actually think I'm gonna buy the Klon too. Just I'm gonna do a video on it. I want to shoot it out with some of my other Klons. I've got a buddy of mine, uh, a town over that has a legit gold box Klon. I'm gonna see if he'll let me borrow it to shoot out a
Yeah.
video with it.
Now, I didn't realize this. Everyone keeps like people have been hitting up Ryan about the Behringer Spring Reverberation,
Uh huh.
which is a
The
it's a
mini
clone of
Spring King.
it's a clone of something.
Oh, let me
Um,
see. I'm gonna look it
because
up.
everything's a clone of something. It has reviews. It's got 5 reviews
Oh, this
on
one, the 636.
yeah, it's got 5 reviews on Sweetwater. Uh, so apparently that means it exists somewhere.
Yeah.
But again, the pictures on the website
Yeah, this is
actually on Sweetwater are all mock-ups. They're
yeah,
not
this is
a
clearly a
real
3D
product.
mock-up.
So all that being said, uh, this box right here. Oh, you're
Oh,
still
yep.
showing.
No, I can swap back over. Let me get back
Yeah,
over
let's
to you.
swap back over.
We'll talk
Let's
about
keep this
mystery
show
boxes.
moving. This is the Ren and Cuff mystery pedal. I
Well,
got
that kind
mine.
of gives it away a little bit. You didn't
Well,
get a big box.
was there a big? Oh, because I get it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot. Yeah, because it's not the larger one.
yeah.
But we're gonna open this up.
Is
We're
it
gonna
an
see.
unboxing if it's in a bag? It's
Then
unbagging.
well, there's a box in the bag.
Oh, well, there you go.
Matt, you did the thing.
What did he do?
He put it in the padded wrap, but then he sealed the padded wrap. The padded thing.
These mock-ups are like buying NFTs. That's exactly right.
Well, because Behringer has a history of like with their synth products where
Oh, dude,
I don't
the
think those
synths they
ones actually go
announced
to
and then
store.
they didn't come out for like 10 years.
Yeah. All right, we got this bag out. Oh, I'm gonna face it away so I can't see it. Watch, it's gonna be. I have one Ren Cuff pedal. If this is the one Ren Cuff pedal I already have, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die right now.
What you got,
Oh,
Steve?
it's got a lifetime warranty. So
That's good. That's upside down. There you go. So I would be opening my Ren and Cuff mystery box along with Steve, except mine arrives tomorrow and not today. Wah wah wah.
I'm gonna let everyone in on a secret. This is a Big Muff circuit.
Spoiler alert.
This is I don't know if this is the standard color, but this is the Box of War.
Oh.
The Smallfoot edition.
I don't know.
So it's small, and I don't know if it's normally pink.
It is not.
So that's super cool.
Yeah, it's normally red and black. They also have a silver and black variant.
Yeah, it's definitely pink. So very exciting. Looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ren and Cuff. Hey, thanks, Ren and Cuff, for taking my money and then sending me a pedal.
Right, thanks, Ren and Cuff.
I do have my Premier Guitar mystery stocking in the other room. I'm going to be making at some point, hopefully, another video for that. I just need to. My wife's been in finals.
Oh, I got you.
So I've been like trying to not
Bogart
do
the
things
office
that I know are gonna take up a bunch of time. So
yeah,
very cool. Thanks to them.
I opened mine already, and I have already given away almost everything that was in it.
Oh wow!
So I ended up with guitar straps. And so what I had straps from last year, from the year before, and from this year. So I gathered up those, a bunch of other spare guitar straps I had laying around, and I sent them out to some people. I have some friends whose kids have started playing guitar, so I sent them a picture of everything I had and said, do they want any of these? And they wanted some of them, so I sent them some. RJ really wanted that Fender strap that went out in the box this year. So,
yeah.
So I sent that to him. I just sent it
Oh,
to him.
nice.
And all the rest of them, it must have been 6 or 7 straps, I sent to Mark Turley at Summer School Electronics for his after school guitar club.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I've given away a ton of straps, gave away some capos and some other stuff I had laying around. It's my attempt to start decluttering a little bit, even though I
Hmm.
apparently can't sell any pedals. I can't bring myself to sell anything, which is bad. My
Yeah,
mystery stocking
I feel
was
that.
big old box of sad.
I think about selling stuff, and then I look at the fact that the vast majority of my pedals come from two brands, and everything else I've been like relative
Big ear and
or
Caroline.
yeah, or they're like I just don't really feel like I have a lot of stuff that aren't part of those collections, and maybe the problem is that I call them collections.
Yeah,
Uh,
Steve, I want to
you
talk
know,
about I want to talk about the fact you have a bass leaning against guitar cases, and you have an open space on your rack.
yeah, I need a reorg. If I mean, I should probably hold on. I'm just gonna do that right now.
Okay. So what I have that Steve doesn't have yet that I'm going to go ahead and start talking about because we're going to talk about mystery boxes. I got my Chase Bliss mystery box. And Steve will come back here in a second after he's done reorganizing. It's already opened. I already know what I have. Steve, I'm
There,
talking
I
about
fixed
the.
it.
Yeah, he did. I'm talking about the Chase Bliss mystery box now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Which you haven't gotten yours, but I've already opened mine. I didn't do a video on it, and I got the clean.
yeah.
Which, it being very fair, is not the most exciting pedal I could have gotten for me. But I have had a couple of other people who have mystery boxes who are excited about the clean and got something different who may want to trade me for my clean. So I'm looking at that as a possibility for a different pedal. I did not get the golden pin. I know the gold pin is going out with cleans. I tore the box apart to make sure it wasn't hiding in any any
Mm-hmm.
paper. I,
Well, you didn't get one, but I'm sure Ryan did.
if Ryan gets one, I am calling collusion and cheating on an NBA level. So so I have opened this up, played it for a little bit. It's really really good. I'm not gonna lie. Before I plugged it
Hmm.
in, I was dead set on trading it away. Now I'm not entirely certain. But I loved this mystery box idea from Chase
Oh
Bliss.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think this is one of the coolest things that has been done. I it's just fun, and because I only own 2 Chase Bliss pedals, there was a very unlikely chance of me getting a duplicate, and
Right.
there was a good chance of me getting something really really cool. And this is really cool, but it's not a Therme or a Mood or a
Hmm.
you know one of the other things I would have really wanted. Scott from the Effects Loop, who I think he's going to be relaunching next year,
Oh,
the
cool.
podcast. Scott got a Therme, and I'm super jealous.
Yeah. I'm looking at Reverb right now. I just looked for Chase Bliss Mystery.
Uh huh.
And I will say, and actually, Reverb doesn't let you, I don't think Reverb actually lets you sell mystery boxes. Um,
Yeah.
because back when I had my first 50/50,
Uh huh.
which I had played Ryan's, and I was like, yeah, I'm not, wasn't super into it. Um, so my personal one had never been opened, and I listed it on Reverb as like that I had only actually I think I listed it as unopened and tried to list it as mint with
Mm-hmm.
only pictures of the box plus stock photos.
Oh, and they were
And
like,
my
no.
listing got taken down because only certified stores, like not certified stores, but like certified manufacturers
Can do
can
stock
list
photos.
and use stock photos. And I was like, technically I'm the manufacturer of this product, and they I think they did not reply.
Oh, I gotcha.
No.
Well,
Reverb's been blitzing a lot. I've noticed actually a lot of brands are kind of blitzing um the the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? like marketing lately. I know it's Christmas season and
Yeah.
whatnot. As you mentioned at the top, it's Yule. Um, but my wife and I had a conversation. Melissa and I had a conversation about something. I don't remember what. And now she's just getting a ton of Fender ads.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
And then I know uh, that what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Vincent, yes, that is a
Um,
regular offer from Pelican Noise Works. You can buy it
oh,
now.
I was going to address that in a second. Yeah, let me do this
Okay.
right there. Link in chat
There
to
you
where you
go.
can buy 50/50.
Link in the chat.
Um, but I've been getting ads for Reverb. So actually, I make a joke on I don't remember. I think it's tomorrow. The episode that comes out tomorrow. That basically we do a Reverb pitch in the episode
Mm-hmm.
that we did not get paid for.
Really?
But Reverb has been like blitzing. Like I've been getting ads on Instagram that are sponsored posts that are like promoted, ads from one of them is Jordan, Jordan.wave
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
one of the ones I get. I'm not getting it because I follow him. I'm probably getting it because I follow him, but I'm not getting it as part of the normal feed. I'm getting it because it's a commercial
Oh,
that
weird.
that he posted on his channel. And then my guess is what's happening is uh, Reverb is paying creators to make shorts,
Gotcha.
reels. They're called reels. It's Instagram. Sorry.
Yeah, I could. We
They're
could
called
ask. I
reels.
could just message Jordan and ask him.
And then they're getting pushed. They're probably paying like, hey, here's we're gonna pay you X, and part of that payment is after you make the post to run a promotional campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Emily Hopkins has a Reverb ad. There's a lot of people. There's a number of creators who have them.
Yeah.
Just not the guitar buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast. We
Or
don't have a Reverb ad.
or a 40-watt podcast. Mine's a lot shorter. I can say it in one breath. Um, I want to talk about other
If,
rad new
if
things
if I
that.
was Joe Branton, I could say it in one breath.
But yeah, you notice Joe does not do that anymore
Yeah.
because he can't. It's too much. I want to talk about new things that I got. This thing, because unfortunately, y'all, you can't buy this. This isn't a thing for sale. But
Oh, I saw your video on it, and I was very confused.
y'all, this is technically it is called the Functionalistic Minimalizer. So Scott and Justin over at Motander Guitars,
Mm-hmm.
Justin being the guitar builder and Scott being his dad, the mad scientist.
Mm-hmm.
They built that guitar that had the Arduino computer in it that switched the pickups and the phase and the volume, and you could do all sorts of weird things with. I did an Instagram reel on it. Y'all can go hunt that down if you want. Um, and I loved that thing. I met them at Fretboard Summit a couple of years ago, and we've just become friends ever since.
Yeah.
Well, I got to talking about that guitar and the tremolo that it can do by turning the pickups on and off. And I got super excited because I mentioned to them the episode of that pedal show where
Mm-hmm.
Joey Landreth is on and they set two different tremolos on two different amps. One's doing in triplets while the other's in duples. And so it's like
Mm.
this weird push-pull thing. And they were like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I bet we could do that. And they sent me this. So what this does, this is, you can see, look inside. Look. It's so weird.
Right. Right. The pedal's name is Ed.
It's so weird. Look, oh, I'm changing all the settings so you can visually see the computer controlling it with lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's at its base level, it's a tremolo, like it's a tremolo, except that it's a dual tremolo, and so it sets the ratio of the tremolos. It's to the same rate, but the ratio is different. So,
Right.
like the setting that I wanted is 2 to 3. So,
Mm-hmm.
in a beat, you get 2 oscillations in one tremolo, 3 in the other.
Right.
So, and then they added a bunch of other functions. Like I can go to 2 to 5, I can go 3 to 5, I can go
Mm.
31 to 5, 31 to 2. Like there's bonkers stuff in here. Like this one's 31 to 5, but then once you get there's 3 to 5, 21 to 5, 2 to 5. But when you get above mode 7, you get into triple tremolos. So now I've got 2 to 3 to 5. I've got 21 to 3 to 5. You can see it if you look.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got 2 to 31 to 5. 21, 31, 5. It gets bonkers. And then at some point there's a couple of settings in here that are pure ring mods. And then my favorite though, if you it's got a randomizer, so it'll randomize the ratios. I never know what the ratio is going to be when I click this. So
now is that continuously?
no, so it's
Okay.
random and you're on random. But if you
Gotcha.
unpower it, hold the two buttons down and power it back up, it starts up in what's called ape shit mode.
Mm-hmm.
And in ape shit mode, it's a random ratio, and then it changes the random ratio every like 8 beats. And so
Oh,
it's random,
interesting.
then random, then random, then random, and just continues to get random. As you play, I did a solo guitar arrangement of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's over on Instagram. You can see it and hear as the tremolo changes as I'm playing. Vincent, yes, it is boxed in Tupperware.
I'm looking through the Motander Guitars website. I don't think I put together before that all of his product names were named after San Diego things.
Yes, yeah. He's very proud of his San Diego roots. So I love those guys. I feel like I want a bass from him.
Yeah.
You look at his website. Do you see the bass? Do you see the white bass with the floral pick guard?
The SM65.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
The one that looks like a 60s. I mean, a lot of his designs look like 60s retro future.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna put this on screen.
Yeah,
thing.
that's the one.
I got to play this at Fretboard Summit.
Oh, okay.
And he does it as a guitar too. He does it as a baritone. He does it whatever you want. Synth Error. I did a small demo. It's on Instagram. I will do a demo on YouTube later. I promise. I am excited to play synth through it. Really, really excited. Haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. So yeah, he makes these things. Look at this.
Oh, that's cool. I love
Yeah.
that color combo.
Yeah. Dude, this thing is classy.
Yeah.
I love his guitars. I just need to get him to make a beefier neck. The neck I played was a thinner neck. He may make one, but Meredith.
He's in a group of folks in the area. I haven't made it to one. I think they tend to do it. Well, one, they do it at night. I think they do it on days that I'm not in San Diego. But he does or he was doing like a small builders group
Oh, really?
in San Diego. That was just like guitar builders. So there's him.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's freaking sick. There's another guy that we always see at NAMM, Dan. I don't know what Dan's last name is, but he's just like Wooden Dan, I think, or
okay.
But like that's his like Instagram handle. But he's built some really cool stuff. So I've played Justin's a couple of the Motanders. Probably, I need to convince Ryan to like really raise his consumer rates so he can do more budget friendly work for locals.
Yeah.
So I've seen Motander also showing up in like some pretty big name hands lately too, which is probably like part of that Fretboard Summit connection.
Yeah, I think so. Jedi Jingle Maker, do they play well? They play exceptionally well.
Yeah.
They're not just wall hanger art guitars. They are incredible playing instruments. I really do think this white with the flowery pick guard, the base, I kind of
Mm-hmm,
want something like that. He does it, but with like a rosewood neck,
mm-hmm.
rosewood fretboard. Um, this white one definitely looks like something out of the Jetsons. Looks like something that Elroy would play in like a high school rock band.
Yeah, yeah,
I love these. I absolutely adore these guitars. Um, yeah, and he builds these on his back porch in San Diego.
yeah, yeah.
He literally builds them outside. So, well, Steve, I'm going to get out of this screen. We have a guest
Oh, we do.
joining us.
See,
So,
this is like Ecamm on the guest side. You can't tell what's going on anywhere.
hi there. Yeah, it does say Meredith. Meredith, is that a joke, or are you picking at Steve a little bit?
Ah.
Yeah, you really know how to hurt a girl.
It's just in my head. I don't like I don't know what the hell's wrong with my brain. I mean, undiagnosed.
It's the drones.
Many issues. Yeah, what you showed that to me yesterday. Apparently, we have the drone problem here in the Inland Empire. The New Jersey and Inland Empire drones. I still don't know anything about it. I told you yesterday, Mercedes. Like, I feel like there was that movie that came out. Well, they've now made a sequel, but originally they had that movie Smile.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
and they
yeah.
had people, showing up in, the backdrop of was it Major League Baseball games, like in the expensive seats, in the like $300 seats, and doing like the smile pose for like the entire length, 2.5, 3 hours of a baseball game. And that's what this whole drone thing feels like. I did see like that there was a drone crash in like New Jersey, and they deployed like ambulances and all this other stuff supposedly, but even that all feels like manufactured, like
Yeah,
some kind of manufactured report. Like they're not actually ambulances, they're prop ambulances
yeah.
from
This is all going to culminate in a Super Bowl commercial.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, this is all gonna. It has that vibe. This is all just gonna culminate in like some big like, $10 million. I don't know how much a minute commercial in the Super Bowl is, but like a 1 minute long form commercial during the Super Bowl, and just that's what it's gonna be. It's is all for some movie, some new M. Night Shyamalan Signs 2 or something. I don't know.
I just don't know why they would pick like Murietta Temecula Menifee. Like
Yeah.
What I don't
we don't even want to
understand,
live here.
yeah, what I don't understand is how they flew them in this area and none of them got shot down.
Especially, yeah.
Well,
Especially
no.
ours,
See,
yeah.
the reason they're there is because they chose areas they'd be less likely to get shot down.
No, but
Notice
this
there's none in the South.
but this is an area where, like, I mean,
Good
I guess
point.
if they keep them over highly populated, like we have fireworks on New Year's, but the first year, 2 years ago when our first New Year's, there were definitely gunshots on New Year's in my
Mhm.
neighborhood, and my neighborhood is very suburban, but I also sometimes feel like I'm the only person that doesn't have a 1970s rust bucket in the
On the lawn.
on the side of my house or on the lawn.
I also
Some of
think
them are cool, but
I also think it's adorable that you only get gunshots at New Year's. What's that like?
Not in like Elsinore where I live. It's like mortars every few days.
Yes.
It's true.
It's even wilder for me. I live right next to a wildlife refuge. And so
we also get, well, I mean, we had this in San Diego too. For about a week or two every year, you get the Marine Corps echoes when they do howitzer testing.
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah. So where I used to
Scary.
live in South Mississippi, where I lived before here, they have the Stennis there's a Stennis research base that's, I think it's Air Force, and that's where they test rockets, like NASA
Oh, okay.
rockets.
Yeah.
And when they do that, you can feel the shake for like 60 miles.
Yep, Camp Pendleton, it's the same thing. And then everyone gets on like their local Facebook. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Love that.
So I turned off notifications for Nextdoor for
Oh,
Menifee because they
I
were
had to
just
delete it.
so yeah, it was just so infuriating sometimes, and I would just go in there and troll people, and then my wife would be like, "You're using your real name to troll people," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's true."
Dude,
Fair enough.
I'm here for it. Don't hide behind names. If you're gonna troll people, do it brazenly, do it
Oh
Yep.
gosh.
honestly, and make sure they deserve it.
No keyboard. Yeah. Keyboard courage.
That's
I've
it.
been finding that the best way to troll people is just to not even actually troll, but to find people who uh just don't know what they're talking about. Um and are purely speculative on harmless subjects. So I'm in a Reddit on like an um alt account. But there's a
I love
subreddit.
that you use the term alt as an
Well,
account.
it's like because I'm also on Reddit as 60 Cycle Steve.
Okay, gotcha.
But then I have an account that's not linked to me or anything, and I use it only to go into a snark sub for a vlogger where
Oh god.
everyone just dunks on this vlogger and her husband all the time. But like one of the things is he is like a D-list celebrity. He was on The Voice,
Okay.
um,
What did he do
and
well on The Voice?
I don't remember. I think he made it to the show, but I
Okay.
don't know how long he actually lasted.
That's like C
Um,
list. That's like C list.
uh, but he went on a national tour,
Okay.
and people were like trying to say like, how the hell is he going to afford this tour? Because in this group, like the people who were like, how is he going to afford this? Because he only like he doesn't seem like he's super popular. Like he's not signed to a label or anything. He does it all independently. Um, and in their mindset, a tour for like a singer songwriter means
Yeah.
that he's like flying private to every city. It's like, how is he affording to take all these flights? And I was like, well, he's probably renting a car. Like that's why his West Coast tour, he was only playing a show every 2 days. So it's like Seattle, 2 days later
Travel
Portland,
time.
two
Yeah.
days later San Francisco, 2 days later LA, 2 days later, so on and so forth, to Phoenix, and then there's like a 3 or 4 day gap, and then he's in Austin. So I'm like, no, they're building in lots of time for driving.
Yeah, they're driving.
Uh, but like the question, and people were like, wait, I don't understand. How does he get from Phoenix to Austin? That's really far. Like he has to fly. I'm like, no, you can drive that in 4 days. You can drive from Phoenix to
I've
Austin
driven
in
from
one day.
Phoenix to Austin in a day. I've done it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've driven from uh, Jacob Lake, Arizona to Hattiesburg, Mississippi in 30 hours
Ugh.
straight.
We did the Dallas Guitar Show. I was young. I was like a teenager, and we left San Diego about 3 a.m. and it took us 22 hours straight to get to Dallas, and we did it.
Yeah, so
Never again.
a lot of people don't think that's how most bands travel.
Yeah,
Right.
Most
yeah.
bands, they book dates that are within about a 10-hour drive so that they can play the show, grab some food, jump in the van, most of the time sleep in the van,
Yeah.
you know, get to the new place just in time to maybe check into a hotel if they can afford it
Mhm.
and get to sound check. They do
I
that
think the
5 days in a row.
I think the assumption in this group is like when you're touring, there is a range, and the range of the smallest national touring artist has uh, one tour bus, and then the longest one would be like, or the biggest one would be like Taylor Swift, who had like 50 tour buses or whatever. So it's like that's just your range. Like, but at a minimum, you get one tour bus. It's like if you don't have a tour
Yeah.
bus, you're only playing local. It's just
So
like they
I'll give
just
you an
don't get it.
example, but I'm gonna do this first. Subjective. I'm really proud of myself for being able to read that. Yes, we did talk about mystery boxes. We may talk about them a little more. Steve had got his Ren and Cuff mystery box. I talked about my Chase Bliss one. So I just went and saw my wife and I, Kelly. We went and saw um, Haley Reinhart. If you know who Haley Reinhart is, she was on American Idol. She's done a bunch of stuff with Postmodern Jukebox. We went and saw her live in Jackson, Mississippi, and it was a
Mhm,
small show. The crowd was really Unfortunate. It should have been a much bigger crowd. It was about 40 people. So, uh,
Mhm.
but she killed it. Sounded great, and she's, I don't know, C list, B list. I don't know what like postmodern jukebox and like had major record label now independent would be in the celebrity world.
Is it
But
bad that I mostly know Haley Reinhart as Bill on F is for Family?
I don't even know what that is.
It was a Netflix
Oh,
animated series. It was a Bill Burr's animated series.
gotcha.
Anyway,
Well, so so she's got a band, has had a major label. She's on a national tour. They're in a freaking Sprinter van and a U-Haul trailer.
yeah.
That's how most bands tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it is the nature of it. We have this like weird like tour means tour bus and stage-hands and roadies and
Hmm.
yeah, for the top 5%.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I've done weekend tours. I've never done proper like tours, and those
Right.
are brutal. We did a 3-day tour once where um we played Tupelo, Mississippi, Maryville, Tennessee, and Tallahassee, Florida. In like grand total time was like 54 hours.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Like there's nothing fun about that. Nothing fun about
Yeah.
that. It was awful. And you're stuck in a van. You can't really do anything. I'm learning the set list because it was a pickup gig for me. I had heard of the artist like a week before.
Mm.
So I'm learning the songs in the van on the way to the first gig. So
IRL. Do you
it
guys want to
sucked.
talk Nam now? I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
talk Nam with you.
so just real quick, just real quick, Mercedes, tell people who you are and what you do.
Oh, I hate answering that question.
You
I'm
can do
kind of a
short
Jill of
form.
all trades.
Short form.
Well, I grew up in the industry, started in vintage with a store, moved over to a factory, and starting to do marketing and branding and all that for Lowe's and Music in Ottawa, Canada.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Mercedes has been elbow deep in this industry for longer than Steve or I probably combined. So way more insight than we will have, and we're gonna talk Nam. I know we talked about it just literally last time we streamed, but
Right.
it's right here. It's a month away.
My
Well,
favorite
last time,
four-letter word.
It is a 4-letter word.
Nam.
Yeah. It's Nam is a 4-letter word. I'm holding off. I've been overdue for it, but I'm holding off on both my flu and COVID shots until a
Oh my
little
God.
closer to
Right
Nam.
before.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it like a week before, so that I want to be as absolutely sure as possible. Last year, I had
Yeah.
just had COVID in August before
Mhm.
NAM. So
Hmm.
I got to ride that antibody train. Kelly,
Right
you know what I
into
mean?
Anaheim.
Yeah, I got to ride that antibody train. But this year I don't have that. So I haven't had COVID in a year and a half. And so
So
Nice.
what?
Keep it
How
that way.
many Nams have you done, Mercedes?
Well, I've done a handful. I've only worked one when I was with Sir in
Mhm.
2020, and I like
Okay.
worked the floor. I helped, sales and all that. So I sat in the
Mhm.
meetings and things like that. That was super fun. And then I went last year. That was most recent between like the COVID when everything shut down and they changed the month it was and that whole
Yeah.
nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people weren't setting up coming back. I don't know if they still do the wood downstairs.
They brought back downstairs this year.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's back. It was not there
Uh,
last
It
year.
is. Oh,
I
okay,
don't. I
cool.
don't know if it's mostly the acoustic stuff downstairs this year.
I
We
pulled
looked
it
at the
up.
map and I just don't remember.
I pulled it
Yeah.
up yesterday. I pulled it up recently in something
Was
talking
there
to
a
somebody else about
downstairs
it.
last year? I felt like
No,
there wasn't. Okay.
No.
Okay.
there hasn't been a downstairs since 2020.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
last
That's
time.
right.
So this year it's back. They put a ton of acoustic builders in the basement. So they've got Santa
Mm-hmm.
Cruz and Collings and
Oh,
Boucher
cool.
Guitars. They're all down there. So there's like some big names down there, but they also are
Uh-huh.
doing. So they've split it sort of in north and south, even if those aren't the cardinal directions. It feels like north and south. North is like innovator showcase, so it's like there's a bunch of oddball stuff. Like Aeroband has a 30 by 20 booth. Like Steve, I don't know what they're gonna do with a 30 by 20 booth,
I'm
but
telling you, they're gonna be running like they're gonna be giving people their stupid plastic MIDI toys and Bluetooth drumsticks, and they're gonna be doing performances.
I know
They're gonna be
that's
trying to basically prove that Henning is wrong about them.
well then I want to be there when Henning goes to that booth. That is my new goal. I will make sure that I am there. I'll drag him if I have to. But yeah, so they've got some really cool stuff up in the top, the north half of it, and down in the bottom half it's like acoustics, and I'm really excited about getting in that area mainly because it's gonna be quieter. Um,
Yeah. Home.
but also Strymon is in the basement again. They're back in the basement, so
Interesting.
apparently that has been their like home since they started in Nam, and
Yeah.
so they're back in the basement. So
Tradition.
yeah,
Yeah, Fender's coming back this year.
yep,
Mhm.
Super excited. I know we're all really excited for the Woodwire Volt offsite event. I am
yes.
Yeah.
so excited for that.
I need to buy my tickets for that. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
We
trying
we
to set that up.
Ryan and I have been on the fence about it because just trying to figure out the timing and everything else.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But also, we had one of the guys from Built reach out to us and be like, "Hey, are you guys going to this thing?" So there is that a little bit of a push.
Yeah, I'm
So,
definitely going over there because both Zach and Barry, Barry from Grez and Zach from Mythos, are both going to be over there.
mhm.
So I'm probably
Hmm.
going to spend a whole day over there. I'm gonna spend a whole day. Um, and they've also got a like concert event one of the nights.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
think it's Friday. I think that's.
yeah,
I think with the crew with Lozen, I think we're gonna head over to that
Oh,
especially.
okay.
dig it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
really
I'm really excited to
excited.
get over there.
Even as
Um,
a Castadosa dealer, I barely even get to see the ones we get in. We have this great
Mm.
problem with that line that they just sell
yeah.
before he makes them. So it's like, well, this is like my one chance to like see them in the wild.
And it's pronounced the place that you're at now is it's pronounced Lozon.
Yeah,
I did not
Lozen.
know that.
I've been saying
Lozon.
Yeah,
Lausen, and so now I am
I
corrected.
have two until they hired me. They were my
Oh,
dealer like 6 years ago, and then I'm like, oh, that's how you say it. I'm sorry.
Max, that the joke is on you. You can't buy things at Nam.
True.
I think you could at Woodwire and Volts though. I think you can buy there. So anybody
Mm.
there, you can buy things.
Do you
Um,
guys generally enjoy it? Because I notice when they start like pushing the campaign, there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, haters like, oh, NAM posts are coming. And then you're
so I
live at
think people
NAM and
don't
everyone's.
understand Nam. That's the problem. People think it's a guitar show, and
That's
it's
exactly right.
not.
You're right.
It's a trade show, and it's a
Yeah.
very very different thing. And so I don't
I
know.
I always just kind of feel like the blitz on the NAM side is always a little goofy. It changes from year to year. I've actually this year, last year, so it's interesting because I felt like they did a bigger push this year to talk about creator integration. But from what I've seen on like the communication side, the creator integration was actually bigger last year than from what I've seen this year. Whether or not that will change, in the next month, I don't
Yeah.
know. But last year, there was a big thing about, hey, you need to sign up for this. You need to sign up for this event that we're gonna have. They had a big creator party last year, and that was announced pretty far ahead of time. And I haven't seen anything like that yet
I
this year.
I haven't either, and I
Um,
emailed about it to see if it was happening again. So
Did you guys? I saw Ryan last year at the Chase Bliss, the Effector
yeah,
Market.
yeah, we
yeah,
were there.
How cool was that?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
so fun.
Are they doing that again this year? I hope they
I
are.
don't know. I feel like the big offsite event this year is the Woodwire Volts one, but I
Yeah,
haven't heard anything yet.
yeah. It's kind of tricky. So this isn't I'm just gonna say the thing. I don't, this isn't a beef or anything. This is just an observation. Curtis was at the effector market last year, and now he's doing his own thing bigger this year. And there's this little, back of my brain that's like, really, Curtis?
Yeah,
Come
yeah, I see
on,
what you're
it's gonna
saying.
be
I see.
fun.
No. It's gonna be. I 100. I've seen the list. It kind of look. I think it's a good bridge. I kind of. It does make me wonder, like, if in the next month or so that we see more builders jump onto wood wire vaults, and whether or not that ends up kind of uh tanking the effector market. But who knows? Because I think,
Right.
like, I think it's like, it's bigger, it's indoors. I think there is kind of that opportunity to maybe combine events, but who knows,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I
Hot,
know
hot.
Earthquaker just got picked up on it too. I
Yeah.
think they just added Earthquaker
Oh, did
to
they?
the.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
That may be the
Yeah.
replacement then. Hot Pink 90 Sun. We want to keep up with chat, but you guys go real fast, and we're also in the middle of conversations, and so we are picking things out here and there. I promise. Um, as for I saw your question earlier. You asked about ZVEX. I don't think so.
What was the question?
Is ZVEX going? I don't know if ZVEX is. I haven't seen them on the map.
Yeah, they are not on the map. Zvex went big a few years ago, but I don't think they've gone since.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw ZVEX, so I got to meet Zachary at Fretboard Summit, and so I think they're doing events like that rather than NAM. Because let's be honest, does ZVEX have anything to prove to anyone at NAM anymore? Like, I don't think they had, like, that man has no. He literally started the boutique effects craze. I
right.
don't think he needs to be at
Needs
NAM.
any help?
Yeah, he doesn't need any
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
So, and it's expensive for a brand who doesn't need it. It's real expensive for a brand that doesn't have to be there.
I was so impressed when I worked with Sir in 2020. Is that entire crew, that factory, built out that booth? I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then broke it down, took it up there, set it
Oh,
up,
wow.
and it was. I couldn't believe it. It was all in house. It
Wow.
was really cool. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to. I love the like boutique, like mayonnaise, Cower. Can't
Oh
wait to
yeah,
see what
yeah,
he's gonna wear. I love his outfits.
yeah. Yeah, the man is stylish to a T, and I love it.
And he's a walking smile. He's the nicest guy.
Yeah,
So
he
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
I look forward to that. Um, so I have a story that I wanted to tell you guys. I thought you
Okay.
would think is very funny. And I think we're past the statute of limitations, so I think I'm allowed to share it.
You're welcome to change the names to protect the guilty. It's fine.
Oh no, that's the best part of the story. So it was the last night of NAM, I think 2020, and I was with my friend Andrew Watson, who kind of at the beginning of Reverb, he was everybody's like sales rep, right? Everyone knows Watson. So he and I go out, paint the town red, and it's like 11:30. We're kind of stumbling back to the hotel, and we're behind the House of Blues on a well-lit sidewalk, well-lit big street. And behind the House of Blues, there's like a back, it's kind of like a secured parking lot, right, with an electronic gate. And an SUV pulls up and is about to leave, right? And the gate opens, and my friend Watson and I walk across the driveway, and the car hits us into the street. Everyone was fine. The way it hit us, it's like the girl hit our shoulders, but like
okay.
I bounced off the sidewalk. Watson like bounced kind of into the road. So I lose it, right? He loses it. I start slamming the hood, cursing.
I'm walking here.
He comes like, my knight in shining armor over here. He comes, he's screaming and yelling. I open the door handle, and it was Dave Amato from Mario Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And, a little history here is that he comes to guitar shows. Lots of people do. Like,
Sure.
everyone buys gear, no matter how big you are, unless you have a handler. Everyone buys gear the same way. We all buy gear off Reverb. They
Yeah.
go to shows, Bonamassa, Shanks, Amato. So I've met him and knew him through when I was in vintage with my dad. So I'm like, hi, Dave. And he gets out and I'm like, remember, it's me, Mercedes, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, baby. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, are you okay? And like kissing my cheeks and hugging me. He's like, don't tell your dad. Don't tell your dad. I'm like, no, it's okay. I won't.
I love that.
So then I had to explain to Watson, I'm like, that's Dave Amato from REO Speedwagon. I got hit by his REO Speedwagon. I love it.
That's
At
awesome.
least you didn't get hit by Stevie Wonder, because he's usually driving. I guess he's not driving around NAMM, but
You said it, not me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm looking back through questions. I'm trying not to ignore the chat, I promise. His Speedwagon should be a slow wagon. I will address this one. Full Tone nor Jackson Audio are on the list that I've seen. For
really,
that I cannot find them. They were there last year. They are not there this year.
Why?
I don't know, but that's probably good because
I was kidding.
yeah, I don't know that I could be kind. So
that's kind of disappointing, because I know we were all looking forward to not talking to them.
Oh, see, I was looking forward to talking to them.
Jackson's going to be there. They're going to be in the Fender booth.
Not that Jackson. Wrong Jackson. I don't care much about them either, though. My first guitar ever was a Jackson with a Floyd. I've told this joke before. My first guitar had a Floyd Rose, and therefore the first mod I ever learned was how to block a Floyd Rose. Because it was awful. It was truly awful. I'm pulling up the map. I don't know that I want to. I'm gonna share it again. Y'all have done this before.
We did this last month.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
We did it the month before.
Are you guys gonna go live from your compound that you're staying at? Are you guys gonna?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we're there's a big. We have a big group. What do we have? 10 people.
11 people technically.
11 people now.
10 people who are in this space.
Right.
10 beds and a couch surfer. No, I don't know. But we're kind of talking about trying to figure out ways to both make it a creator friendly space for creating things, but also keeping it to be like a relatively quiet space.
Yeah.
As quiet as you can be with 11 people, Yeah. But
last thing we want is like a ton of noise after we've been on the NAMM floor all day.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah. Leave the party at the party, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did I think we're talking about because we did this last year, kind of like a 15-20, though I don't know, can we do the 15-20 person taco night thing, or are we gonna have to take that off site?
I think that's going to end up being too many because so Airbnbs in Anaheim can be really, really strict about their rules because there's some new laws in Anaheim about Airbnb and that whole model. And so if it was just like a couple of people, we could probably be fine. But once we start adding double-digit numbers, so I've been looking into instead of hosting like a taco night at the place, I've been looking for a place we can go to.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna find one. I know Ryan is gung ho that we can just do it at the house, and I'm gung ho that it's my credit card on the Airbnb, and I don't want that coming down on me. So, like I said, if it were just a few people, so expect something from a taco night for sure. I guess we can go ahead and say Sweetwater is sponsoring our NAMM house. We'll go ahead and mention it. Y'all are gonna find out about that a whole bunch later. So Sweetwater is helping make this all happen. We have Ryan and Steve, obviously 60 Cycle Hum. I'm there. We have Jason from Play Jason and Working Class Music. We have Joan of Heart from Pedal Playhouse is going to be there. Dave and Matt from Guitar Dads are going to be there. We're going to have Landon Bailey from Landon Bailey.
Yeah, he's a big fan of ours. That's how I know him.
Oh, yeah.
Is through Lozen. He's a big fan.
He's a resident Canadian. Then we've got our resident European, Henning Pauly's going to be in the house. It's a lot of people. Did I miss anybody, Steve? Who did I miss?
I don't know. That's Adam Johnson.
Oh yeah, Adam Johnson from Cover Band Confidential is going to be there as well. So it's a big crew. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. But we're looking at for sure a taco party at some point. And so we'll make some weird content out of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I'm super excited. I get excited every year for it. I have a great time. It's so fun. I love seeing all the new stuff come out. This year I was like wanting to do a NAM bingo, right?
Oh.
And I don't know how I would do it, but like I made a little cheeky joke on socials that the free space in the middle just fill X.
That's true because you're gonna
you
run
know
into
you're gonna
Phil
run
X.
into him.
So
Yeah,
Phil,
you're going to run.
Phil X story. I don't remember if I actually met Phil last year. I saw Phil last year because you always at least see Phil. But the Phil X story, I've never heard anyone say anything even resembling a bad thing about Phil X. But the story last year was that Henning was wearing one of Rocket Music's, I got him back there, the tone hats, the volume knob,
Oh yeah.
tone knob hats. Henning had one, and Phil X runs up to him and basically goes, "Oh my God, Henning, what the hell is that hat? I need that." And Haley, who makes those, happened to be around. So Henning's like, "You know what? This is Haley. She's the one who makes them. Talk to her." And Haley's like, big fan of his. And so he's like, "Haley, I need one of these hats." And she's like, "Okay, like, let me just, I think she might've been out of them. I don't remember, but she's like, "Well, let me get you some, like, we'll just hook you up, whatever." And he was like, no. How much does it cost?" And she's like, "You're one of my guitar heroes. I just want to give it to you." And he was like, "But no. How much does it cost?" Like he was insistent because he understands enough about the way this industry works that like, if you are in a position to buy something, you just buy it. Like he wanted to be part of that cycle of like, no, like you use your promotional money for the people who you want to do promotion. Like I saw somebody wearing this and now I want to purchase it also.
Yeah.
You don't have it. And so they got in like, not, I don't want to say an argument, but it was like a very like back and forth of like, "No, I will give it to you for free. No, I will give you money. Do not give it to me for free."
And I believe the conclusion was she actually did. I think she had one, and he did buy it. He did not take it off for the rest of the NAMM show.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, and he's so personable and nice. He loves meeting fans, but he's just everywhere you go.
Yeah. I'm hoping to like actually meet him. We were like in a lot of the same spaces last year, but didn't manage to like meet him. So that's the hope.
I wonder if this is the year that I run into Mr. Smith, and we have our face-to-face, Mr. Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that Mr. Smith. They're not, well, they
I think they're doing a special event, right?
Yeah, they're doing some things.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a booth. I saw Paul last year in a hotel talking to Rhett Scholl, and I should have just crashed it, but I didn't because I'm shy.
Oh, I would have straight up crashed it.
NAMM is
I have no shame.
NAMM is a shy space for me because I'm bad at guitar.
Oh, see but that's the thing. NAMM is the place where your guitar skill matters the least. It's not a player space.
I don't know, man. It still feels like a player space.
No.
Is it going to be open to the public and like non-exhibitors like it was last year?
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. I think you can apply to just go and it's like $150 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I had John on the podcast, the CEO of NAMM, and asked him about things like that, what they're doing is they're reducing the number of additional badges like brands and exhibitors and because that's where a lot of the public got their badges, were just coming in under somebody else's name.
Exactly.
And so they're making that a little tougher. It seems like they're actually vetting content creators, which is good. Like you have to sort of prove who you are. But
Got you.
to
Yeah.
get the free media badge, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But then anybody else, technically anybody else, I think can come, but you have to join NAM. It's like $100 or $150.
Yeah. Okay.
It basically creating some. I need to be invested in this to actually go, and not
Right. It
just
was
open the
last
doors.
year was crazy because I saw like 2 babies and I like didn't think about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen kids at NAM. Not
You
a
have a
ton, but I think when they're
baby.
under an age, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama. You have a
Weird.
baby at NAM. Oh my.
That's bizarre. I don't know why you would do
Sweet Home
that.
Alabama, the movie, not the song.
Right. Also the song.
Oh,
The
Yeah,
song
sure,
and
the
the
also
song
the
movie.
as
song.
well.
Um,
Well, cool. Thanks, you guys, for letting me join.
Of
I'm super
course.
excited. I can't wait
Yeah.
to meet y'all in the flesh.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's
It'll
gonna
be
be a good
fun.
time.
Does Lozon have a booth? Are you all just doing like the business side or?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is the crew is coming out this year.
Mhm.
I believe we might have Kyle Kiesler as well, kind of running with us. But we're gonna be on the floor creating content. I'm gonna be kind of live marketing as we go. They're gonna do their meetings. That's what we usually do. Is
Okay.
you kind of meet with the dealers and they take your order. It's that dynamic has kind of changed though since COVID because I remember being at Sir, we were emailing like the new releases, like
Right.
PDFs and photos and specs and things like that. So I think people still do that, but you still go, you meet, you talk to your people, especially them being in
Mhm.
Canada, like they get to meet all their dealers in one place, down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
thing that
or other
I
lines,
think
excuse me.
I think that's a thing that a lot of people, again, people who aren't actually working the industry side miss is that, they go like, well, all these things can be done online. But in the case of like you just said, yeah, you could hold 20 separate Zoom meetings over the course of a couple weeks or whatever, to
Right.
meet with all of your potential uh, brands that you want to work with or brands that you already work with. Or you can just go to NAM and smash it all into like 3 days and do it all face to face. Face to face. There, on the one hand, like face to face marketing is like very uh, old school, but I still really think that the music instrument industry is it's very much like a handshake industry. Um,
Yes.
there's a lot of
Yes.
Exactly.
things where technology can be better, but there's people that work with Ryan because of the vibe, not because of anything that particularly like good business pitches. I think his demos are very fairly priced, but there's something about like I think a lot of brands that we work with really appreciate that the person on the video is also the same person that is gonna like shake your hand. Like the conversation doesn't change.
Right.
He's the same person. And I think that's like a big like kind of one up, uh
Ryan is very
or
much so that person at NAM because like he was
yeah.
standing in the Reverend booth and I'm friends with the Hawes and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is my chance because and he is so nice and so personable. And I also kind of saw him walking around a couple times and he seems genuinely like excited about certain, drops,
Yeah.
whether it's pedals or
Yeah.
guitars. He's like the kid in the candy store, like a lot of us are
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
like very,
Absolutely.
very real.
He gets excited
So
about very different things than I get excited about too. he just he just really does. I love this. People want to rub their hand skin together for whatever reason and whisper in each other's ears. You see, there's no whispering in each other's ears at NAM.
No, it's yelling in each
screaming
other's ears.
ears. My goal is to not lose my voice a day and a half in. That's my goal this year.
my goal's not to lose my big toenails this year.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah, that's a
but
real thing. That's a
I
real
did
thing.
2 days. I did 2 days on the floor, and I think I just got them back, so I have new ones fresh for.
I need to buy new insoles
25.
before I get to NAM.
Yeah.
You want to go with fresh insoles in your shoes.
Okay.
Do they make a vape that's ibuprofen? Because I can just.
Mercedes, you've been floating this idea on Instagram of doing NAM outfits. Is that a thing? Is
Oh
that a thing
yeah.
you're doing?
I usually each year, like, I'm like, all right, NAM lookbook. What am I wearing? And I just pick out like some of the most ridiculous things. So yeah, usually I change into jeans and I'm like walking around and I smell like Tiger Balm after the first day. So it's just kind of a cheeky joke.
Steve, that's what we should do. Costumes for NAM. Let's do it. What are we
My
gonna do?
costume is, does this shirt make me look fat?
That's my costume.
Can we wear sweatpants?
Oh, can I wear my pajamas like I'm wearing right now? It'd be wonderful.
Billy Gibbons does that at the meet and greets after.
But he's Billy effing Gibson. Gibbons, sorry. He's Billy. He can do whatever. He's the Rev. He can do whatever he wants.
There's a show, a podcast where two of the guys and then the guy that went with them. One year, they all, for at least one full day, they just wore Adidas tracksuits for the whole day. Like, so they're walking around looking like, Russian mob.
That's awesome. We should do that and hope that they do it too, and we can have some kind of face-off in the middle of the NAM floor.
Oh my gosh!
I really want.
I don't even know if they're going.
I want a shirt by that time that's like, "Hey boys, my headstock's up here."
Oh my gosh!
We can make that happen. No, if I make it, will you wear it?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay, we'll make that happen. Waiting. We'll make that one happen. I happen to know a graphic designer. Joe is somewhere in the chat. She will absolutely design that for us.
Yes.
Because maybe she should wear the same one. So
you guys should too. Actually, that's what we'll do.
I mean, I got X. I could do this. I am gonna before we let you go, I'm gonna bring up on the screen. We're gonna talk about the Woodwire and Volts thing again, just because maybe some people don't know about this. The vendor list has grown since the last time I looked at it.
Oh wait, yeah, this is more.
Yeah, they've added R2R is gonna be there. They've had Texas Toast. They've added Cardinal Instruments. They've had Dunnable since the last time I looked.
I know, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Satellite. Woo, Satellite.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for this. Steve, I may end up spending more time at this than I do at NAM. Because this is really, really, really rad. Ariel Posen's going to be playing.
Yeah.
Science and Nature. Mighty Mike Shermer. Yeah. So daily pass is $20. VIP pass is $100. That includes a catered party and the Woodwire Volts After Dark.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously going to get the VIP pass.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
This is going to be great.
This. Yeah.
Super fun.
That's going to be.
I wonder if there's going to be like more offsite things like this as like the years go on, where a lot of these because this list I love. Like I love Mythos.
Yeah.
Normally I'd see them at their booth, but like doing this, it's like I kind of like it. I like the offsite stuff. I like the boutique stuff as well. I'm really big on that. So
I loved the effector market last year.
Me too.
I hope something like that is also still happening, even with all this going on.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I didn't hear. I only I found out about the effector market because Steve and Ryan told me about it, so I didn't know about it.
I mean, I guess technically, like I'm looking at this, and Woodwire Volts is Thursday and Friday, and the effector market's usually on Saturday, so there is room for everybody. Get smashed at the Woodwire and Volts After Dark on Friday night, and then show up for the effector market and have a sandwich to cure that hangover on Saturday.
You can have a sandwich there, or there was
that
little burrito place that had the breakfast burritos like 2 doors down from it that was really good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be hitting up. So,
cool.
I do think Mercedes, like I do think we are seeing more of that, even if it's not fully at the same time. I mean, last year, I don't know if they're doing it this year again, but last year that was Gibson's thing, right? They've got the Gibson Garage in Hollywood, so they opened Gibson Garage. Is that what it's called?
No, it's their showroom. It's like a block or two away from the Guitar Center on Sunset Strip. So
is that like different than the Gibson Garage?
Yes, it's not. It's not a sales floor. It's just.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to like the back room of the Gibson Garage, like the Artist Relations Lounge. That's what it really is. And
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
it's like a nondescript storefront that you walk in and suddenly there's a bunch of like there's a desk and there's like Gibson
Hmm.
stuff around, and it's not meant to be open to the public as a store or anything.
Oh, okay. So that's but regardless, and actually if you look for Gibson's showroom, it shows you the wrong thing
Yeah.
on it shows you a different store
Yeah, I almost
on
walked by it
Google.
last year.
So but they do that kind of thing. They did that I think the day before NAMM started. I think you're seeing more events kind of like that. I'm hoping there's video of it because my understanding is that Brian is building a PowerPoint presentation, or maybe he already did, because he's doing a
Oh
how
yeah.
to work with influencers
Yeah.
talk
He's doing a
uh
panel on Tuesday,
with
right?
NAMM. Yeah, before NAMM.
So it's
So,
okay, interesting.
so I'm not sure who, but somebody, I don't know if NAMM reached out directly to him, or I think somebody actually recommended him for it to basically go in, because that is also like a weird thing that we deal with all the time, which blows my mind. This actually blows my mind that it's 2024 and we still have companies who email us and say, basically, can you hold my hand through this how to work with social media people? Because I've never done it before. And I'm like, you're the director of marketing at, brand whatever, and you don't know how YouTube works? Like, I don't
I've been
I
I've been helping
because I've
another
been
brand. They're wanting to kick off a podcast, and I've been helping them walk through the steps of like, okay, you want to start a podcast? Like, here's what you need to do. The recording side they're fine on. It's the posting or the hosting and the distribution and they have no idea how any of that works. And I think I take it for granted that it's easy to me because I know how it works now. You know what I mean? It's amazing how like there's this, even though I feel like it's a very thin barrier, there's still a
Mhm.
barrier to some people doing this.
No.
Also, Rob F, the Vendors does sound like a band name, but it should be something like Max Sales and the Vendors.
Ooh, good one. You're good at this.
I thought about that one for a while there while I was ignoring what Steve was saying.
Oh yeah, this house you guys are going to be in is going to be real quiet, huh?
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so.
I mean, it's not gonna be so. Like we've talked, like people have already, we kind of already said, like I'll probably bring like HX Stomp and one guitar, and Ryan's probably gonna bring his HX Stomp, and we'll bring some headphones, and like because people are like, oh, because I could bring like my Rev D20 and a 1x12 cabinet, and Ryan's got a 1x12, and we could go big amps and whatever, and it's like, you're gonna be at NAMM listening to some dude play the drums with no time signature and call it jazz for 8 hours, and then you're gonna go back and like crank an amp. Like, no thanks. We'll
Yeah,
bring you HX Stomp. You can listen to it through headphones.
my favorite part, Mercedes, is the Airbnb we rented. It has a pool, but you have to pay for the heating of the pool. So I'm really hoping that it is. It's unlikely, but I'm hoping it's really cold that week, and we're gonna film some YouTuber polar bear challenges. Uh,
There's a great debate going in this group chat. Well, there was, where, because Ryan's like, January, you just don't go in pools unless it's heated. And but because everyone else, like the Guitar Dads podcast, I think they're both up in Massachusetts.
yeah, they're both in
Then
Boston.
of course, Philip, you're in Mississippi. Adam is so in Atlanta. The basic Jason's in Atlanta. So you have all these other people from cold weather climates who are like, if it's above 60 degrees, we will
It's
swim.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? And Ryan and I are sitting there going like, if it's below 80 degrees, I don't go in a swimming pool because it's too cold.
Yeah, what? I went swimming in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in December when it was 35 degrees and it's an outdoor pool. Don't care. I say swimming. I jumped in and pretended the water was fine to get everyone else to jump in. And then I immediately got out.
The long
There's
con.
Max brought this in. There is a question of whether or not Ryan will bring Brian and Brian's wheelchair to NAMM
Yes,
just
please. Oh
and
my
just
gosh,
spend
yes.
a few hours pushing around a mannequin on the NAMM floor.
Steve, the whole costume thing, you need to get nurses scrubs and push Brian around in a hospital gown in the wheelchair.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
I
here
can't
for
wait.
it. I think that would be the best thing ever.
Would Brian require a badge? How would that work?
I don't know.
Does he get special dispensation? I'm not really sure.
Can we get a handicap placard for him so we can get better parking
You
in
get to
the
cut all the lines like at Disneyland, right?
Oh, but well, also then you're bringing in a wheelchair, and like well, the one thing I learned from Andy Ferris last year is that if you want to bring in a rolling anything, they're like, because Andy Ferris last year, I don't know if you saw him, Mercedes, he had this whole rolling AV cart
Yes,
that
the
he
cart.
was
Yeah.
rolling around the NAMM floor to do content, and then he would go back to his hotel and edit video that night to release in the
Mhm,
morning.
mhm.
Amazing.
It's like, no, sir, absolutely not.
It's a different, it's a whole, because I talked to him about it a little bit. I've talked to Henning about it. It's a very different mindset when you are flying, 10,000 miles or however the hell far Austria is from here, um, versus like, because like Ryan and I, where it's like, oh yeah, we're just going to jump in our cars and drive up there, and we're not going to
Right.
make content because this is like a mini vacation.
Yeah.
And it's costing us, even if we were doing like, even if we were this year, we got the Sweetwater sponsorship, but even in the years where we paid for lodging, it's like, we're paying for lodging, like we'll just take it out of the Patreon, whatever, not a big deal. But if you're flying halfway across the world, it's like you have to make
Yeah,
content
you better get
because
content out of it.
because you have to justify. You can't just go in and be like, I spent $5,000 to hang out with my friends.
I can justify it. I can really justify it, and I do.
And then with after the flying too, it's like you do the flights back and forth, and then you lose the week after you fly back because you're just dead. You're just tired.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few people, actually. I've the British folks that come over. I've seen them do this a lot, where they line up Music Man Tour and all these different like shops around the LA area. So
Mhm.
they do NAMM, and then they do the week after NAMM as the whole where my brain just stopped working. They do the week after NAMM to do things that like they trying to smash travel together, basically.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because doesn't Taylor usually do an event like that Sunday, or not Sunday, but the week after, where you go in and do a Taylor event? Or am I thinking of
Oh,
somebody else?
I don't know. I know Kiesel did one
Mhm.
last year, actually on the same weekend.
Yeah.
Taylor might. I'm not sure who else does.
So I remember last year the Amigo Guitar Show was the same week.
Yeah.
It is the
And,
same
like,
weekend
just
at
north
the
of yeah.
Costa Mesa Fairgrounds.
That's right, Costa Mesa. Thank you. I
Yeah.
all the Costa such and such as I get them all.
Yeah.
It looks like I just looked, because I looked a couple of weeks ago and had not found it. Nope, that's old. Looking at the guitar show, looks like the Costa Mesa show is Saturday, January 25th, and Sunday, January 26th. So it is the
There you
same
go.
weekend again.
Yeah.
They usually do that because it brings a lot more attendance, because you can hop in, an Uber or a Lyft
Mhm.
and get there.
Yeah.
And so what's really cool is, since I've gotten out of vintage and doing shows, a lot of them come and they'll like stop by NAMM, and they're like, all right, we'll see you later. So Dave Henson, the tunerette,
Yeah.
cigarette, he'll be there. He always comes out and he'll stop by NAMM. He's doing great. That thing has taken off, that tuner. I don't know if you've seen it everywhere, but
I've seen it, and I don't know what it is.
It's
just like a snark.
It's like a snark,
Oh,
except it looks
okay.
like a cigarette.
Yeah, and
Tunerette.
it lights up. Yeah, it's super cool. So yeah, he'll usually come out. So they'll just kind of start there and then kick off to the vintage show Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday. But it's really close. So if anyone's interested in that, I can't recommend it enough. It's really cool.
I'm probably going to go to that. I went to the Amigo show in Franklin, Tennessee earlier this year. I didn't make it to the Costa Mesa show because, like, I didn't have a car, and I'm renting a car this time around for the whole show, just because we have such a big house, and Steve and Ryan were so kind to drive us around, but with so many people trying to get around places, I think having an extra car is going to be worth it. And I think it's a totally good idea to do that. I had I was joking about the reason I go to NAMM is because I want to meet people face to face to get them on the podcast. That's my goal. And that's a lot easier than messaging on Instagram or emailing to just have my email go to their spam folder, because it still does. But Dan from Lewitt Audio, Dan Pilver, told me what you should do is carry a camping chair with you and tell people if they will book a date for the podcast, you'll let them sit down for 5 minutes.
That's really good.
It's
Dan.
brilliant.
I can't wait to see him, by the way. I only get to see him once a year, so I can't
Same.
wait to see Dan.
I only finally met him in person last year. So
Me too.
At NAMM.
Me too.
So I'm really excited to see Dan, even though I need to get up and go see. I was in the Boston area, and he's not in Boston, but he's in the Northeast, and it's close enough, right? Everything in the Northeast is so jammed in. And the week I was going to be in the Northeast, he was in Vienna, and I'm like,
of course,
yeah.
Well, he'll be there in rare form, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're already starting to talk about getting together, hanging out. I was talking about he has a train wreck. He has like one of the new train wrecks that are being built.
Yep.
And I talked about how bad I want to play one. He said, I can bring it with me. I'm like, dude, you are not traveling to NAMM with your trade. Yeah, he was gonna ship it. I was like, don't you dare, don't you dare.
Emily.
But like, he was willing to just do it. That's how nice a dude, just so I could try it.
So nice.
I'm like, stop.
I know.
Emily just posted the chair you need to bring, which is the air stool, the little tripod chair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would do it. I need to. I don't think I can copy this link out of here, but I'm gonna find it later. Emily, send it to me on Facebook. That way I can get it from you. Whatever it is, I'm thinking about really taking that advice. I'm still trying to figure out how much content I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna do more than 0. I'm gonna do somewhere between 0 and Andy Ferris. I don't know. But
I gave up on ever completing the edit on my second video.
Did you really?
It's just, I feel bad about it. I'm like probably 80% done with it, and I just was like, is it weird to launch to post a NAMM 2024 video a month before NAMM 2025?
Yes it is.
Yeah.
Or you could do it as a throwback. Launch it on a Thursday. Tag it Throwback Thursday.
I've thought about that, actually. I've thought about like, hey, in preparation for NAMM 2025, here's a throwback, So maybe that is a thing that Joey Scar, hi Joey, says I should just do it. We have a bunch of regulars show up in the last like half hour.
Hey Joey, the Nike cease and desist is on its way to you.
I was telling Ryan that there are a handful of brands that I kind of wish like we could get a cease and desist from just to frame it.
Yeah, no, dude.
Like as a badge of honor.
Even as a Gibson fanboy, I want a Gibson C&D. I will absolutely frame that.
Their lawyer had our store like on like their MySpace top 10, I swear, top 8. Like they would call us regularly because we were selling Tokais.
Oh no. Are they still
hey.
making Tokais? Is that still a thing?
I think so. I know it's hard. Like you can't. I don't know if you can be a dealer in the United States because of it. I remember when we went years and years ago, we tried to talk to them, and they're like, "No, it's too hard." So I don't know. I don't really know where they're at.
There is a dealer in Europe or the UK. I can't remember which, and I won't name them just because I don't know that this wants to go out. They make incredible guitars in that style. But the only things they market to the U.S. are the things that are nothing like that style because they just do not want to deal with it. for good reason. Being totally honest, they're absolutely breaking some trademark. But they don't say Gibson. It's not like a clone or a counterfeit or anything. But they're so cool, and I wish I could get one, but I can't. Yeah, I need to just get Joe Branton to send me one. That's what I should do.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, awesome.
Wrap it up.
Mercedes,
It's
thanks
good
for
to see you.
hanging.
And then, of
Look
course, see
forward-
you in about a month.
Yeah, see
I
you in a
know.
month.
Awesome. Enjoy your Gabe cease and desist day.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
All right, bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Ciao.
All right. So back to our lonesome here.
Yeah.
Steve,
Now it's boring. We should just end this show.
I know.
Honestly.
Now it's boring. What else you got? What else you got? Anything?
I don't
Anything
know.
fun? Anything cool going on?
I'm still waiting. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, still waiting for my Chase Bliss box. I don't know if Ryan's gotten his. I haven't heard anything.
I'm still.
We have to completely juggle our recording schedule around the holidays, which we do every year.
Right.
But we recorded on the 10th, and so normally we record on Tuesday or Wednesday, which would be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day as our next planned recording date. So we're gonna actually record on the 27th, and blitz through that. I will say, so Emily Get Offsets in the chat says mine will be in Tuesday. I don't think mine has been updated yet. So I have a UPS code and no timeline yet, unless it's been updated. I just clicked on it and I can't even view. Oh, here we go. Here's a tracking.
Steve, did your renting Cuff Mystery Box come by USPS or UPS?
It was USPS.
Oh, mine's coming UPS.
Hmm.
Maybe I got
Maybe
that
it's
big box. I want the big box Capri.
Now I don't know if I watched I did watch your video for the Premier guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have did you have a bigger box for that one?
No, it looked like the standard size box.
Okay,
and it was UPS Shore Post, so it was UPS delivered by USPS.
Well, mine is as well, but I mean I have mine, but it's a bigger box. For Emily, I got the pink Box of War Smallfoot version.
See, I want the big box Caprid to go with my big box Big Puffed. I'm all about giant pedals. That's my life now. I just want big pedals. You see all the fuzz faces behind me.
Yeah.
I'm all about big pedals because big pedals mean bigger tone. It is known.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
This is where I am.
I'm gonna go grab that Premier guitar box and top off my coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Emily, I also wish I liked Big Muff pedals. I really do, but I have this one. I have it's in the other room. I have the Rude Tech one, the 3 Muff 14. Those are my only Big Muffs, and obviously the Ren and Cuff will be another one. Dredgen, yes, this was the Mythos Pedals Halloween release. So Zach over at Mythos is a giant Ghostbusters nerd, and every Halloween he releases a pedal that is Ghostbusters themed. So this one is this year's. I love this. I love big pedals. I don't want small pedals. I'm working on an all white pedals pedal board too. So I think that means I might keep my Emily, this is what I got in my Chase Bliss mystery box. I don't know if you saw in any other place. I got the creative compressor. And I've had some people want to trade it away, and I'm kind of tempted to trade it for something else, like a Mood. I really want a Mood. But I may end up keeping this because it sounds really, really, really good. And so I'm going to put together an all-white pedals pedal board. Because I've got a few overdrives in white enclosures. I have the LVX. I have the CXM 1978. I could do a full-on board that's monochromatic. Jeremy, I really want a Cootercaster. I really do. I've had I only before the clean I only owned two Chase Bliss pedals. Only still owned. I've owned a few others. I had the Preamp Mark II and the CXM 1978. I've owned what have I had? I had the Warped Vinyl. I've had the Gen Loss. I've had Dark World. I had um there's a couple of more I've had. Oh, Condor Hi-Fi. I had that one. I like them, but I don't play that style. Oh, what
So
these
that's
these?
the size of box I have. I know that size box uh has been getting Stu Mac cleaning kits.
Oh, that would track.
So that's one of my guesses is in there, but I
Okay,
don't know.
hold on.
We'll
I'm
see.
gonna go grab mine then, so you can see. I still have my box. I'm taking trash out tomorrow. So one sec.
Richard in the chat says that he got the Maestro Fuzz in the Premier Guitar Mystery Box, so he must be a content creator because he got something good. Because that's the only way you get something good from Premier Guitar, supposedly, according to the gear page. That's not totally true. But that whole conspiracy is still running that Premier Guitar sends good stuff to content creators. Um, and I believe that was based on a comment Ryan made last year, at least in part, where we had a conversation with the folks at Premier Guitar, and they were like, "Oh, Ryan didn't make a video, and we know he got a good pedal, um, but he got the pedal like it's randomly. They just have a bunch of boxes and they slap labels on them." But they just the guy that we know just happens to n- see the name slap on. So
Yeah, I got the amp the 1 year and then trash. Otherwise, I take it back. I did throw my boxes away. But
uh,
this is the size of the Chase Bliss mystery box.
which is wild, and that's the size for every box, right?
Yeah. So as far as I can tell by the people I'm talking to, this is the box that they're sending everything in, and they're saying everything is 3 pounds even when it's not. So you
Mhm.
can't guess by the weight, at least by the ship notification, and you can't tell by the box what's in it because this thing could hold three of the automatones in it or four. It's a really really big box.
Yeah,
So
there's a running, like, people are saying, because there was one guy who bought like 50 of them,
yep,
which is what were you the one who worked out that that's something like
fifteen
$15,000?
thousand dollars.
And so, there's also, and you were also the one who found somebody saying that they were just going to get it and they were going to weigh their box to try to
Oh,
guess what was, to try to like get some ideas of what was in it and then relist it
so
on like a resale.
that was actually somebody in the I can't remember who it was in the Get Offset Discord chat actually who
Oh,
found it on Reddit and shared it
oh,
in
who
there.
found it? Okay. I
Yeah,
was
they
like, I
found it.
hope
They
it,
didn't say they were going to do it, but they found it. And so yeah, $299 if you bought 50 of them. That's $14,950.
yeah, which is
Now there
uh
is someone I was talking
wild.
to who was interested in trading who bought like 7 of them, and even that I'm like no, no, absolutely not. Um, I just cannot. One is plenty for me. I could if I were like if I were way better off, if I were way further up in the middle class spectrum, I might have could have seen getting 2 just for fun. But that's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
that's as far as I can go. Yeah, I agree, Emily. They should have hard capped it at 1. Um, I didn't watch all of the live stream, but I got the feeling Joel didn't like the idea of one person buying 50 of them either, and it's not something they had anticipated. Um, but Joey, I agree. Pedal collecting is getting way out of hand. I can look around this room and in the next room over and confirm. It's real dumb. It's just getting too much. I have too much stuff. I need to sell stuff, but I have a hard time selling things. It's a psychological problem. I'm not even kidding. That's the worst part. Steve, you're quiet. What you
Oh yeah,
reading?
I'm reading. Do you give money to guitar YouTubers on the gear page? I got distracted.
Oh, really?
Because 60 Cycle Hum was named in the original post
Oh,
as anyway. But uh, I should pay attention to the. I'm still listening. I just was
yeah, but no, that's an interesting topic.
I'm just gonna comment on it after we're done, saying like, "Hi, I was named in the original post. Ask me anything."
Oh, did
Um,
you really? Did you?
no, I'm going to.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet. Um, I I'm looking at people talk about different comments. Dredge and X says I had a year 2000 Jagmaster. I'm surprised Guitar Center wouldn't make an offer on those because I feel like those are actually have a decent value on them now.
Guitar Center
But
is they're really trying to revamp what's sitting around in their used collections. And for what it's worth, you're still kind of at the mercy of your local manager. Um,
Mhm.
so, for example, I'm friends with a manager at a local Guitar Center, and he has worked very, very hard to get interesting, unique stuff in there. Like, they're carrying some small brand stuff. They're not just carrying only the stuff that's like all Guitar Center um, dealer. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like they're
Mhm.
carrying summer school electronics in Guitar Center there. Uh,
Yeah,
Here in the South, and
which
I know that
which is cool.
yeah, I know that happens in Syracuse because Mark is up in Syracuse and he knows those guys. But um, like they've got, I was there literally yesterday actually, and just walking around looking at the really rad stuff they're getting in. Um, Although they had this one custom shop Strat that was an abomination. Uh, it's a custom shop Strat with a telly neck, um, and it just it just it didn't look good. It
Yeah.
didn't. It just didn't. Um, it was their heavy relic, and my custom shop telly's a heavy relic, and it's an okay relic. That relic
Mhm.
on that thing was awful.
I had we had somebody on our comments go off on like how on the Trump guitar video because the Trump guitar video is still getting just so many. I feel like they're just random out of the woodworks. I also like there's people who really think I'm that like Ryan and I are really like broken up about the Trump guitar that
Yeah, yeah, they
oh
think
you
you're
did
big mad
you
about
know
it.
did you guys feel better? Did you hold hands and hug after you made this video and cried out or whatever? And I'm like, not don't
Man,
I don't even really care about it. It's
block
like
them.
make your thing. I just think it's goofy. Um, but yeah, it's like I said, people just they want to see something that's I don't know. Just oh, I'm
Yeah,
unsubscribing because you guys are so out of control. I'm
pressed,
like, oh
pressed.
no, darn.
What's up, Doug? Yep. So Mark at summer school's up in your neck of the woods. He's
But
not. I
that
don't think he's technically in Syracuse. I can't remember exactly where he is, even though I literally just sent him a big box of guitar straps. Uh,
is he not actually in Syracuse?
I don't think he is. I think he's outside of Syracuse. But like that's like Steve. You don't live in San Diego, but where do you tell people you're from?
Um,
Do you actually say the name of the town you live in, or you just say San Diego, or maybe before when
I
you
don't
lived
know what
closer?
I don't know what I say now.
Yeah,
Uh,
when I
I
lived
usually tell people I live outside. I live about an hour northeast of San Diego, I think is what I tell people
exactly
now.
that kind of thing. Well, we're getting up on the 2 hour mark. What are you thinking? Got any final thoughts? Any final things we want to cover?
Um, no. I hope everyone I would just say I hope everyone, going into to these holidays that uh find some time find some time to play guitar. I'm trying to Here's a fun dumb story. So my kid, I've talked about this on the show a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
not a ton. But my youngest is a high support needs, special needs kid,
Uh huh.
and she simultaneously loves music and gets triggered by the same music that she loves.
Oh no.
Um, And so basically there are songs that she will sing, and then if you play it for her, she will like freak out. Like she does this humming thing to like drown it out, right?
Oh, wow.
And so the thing that she's been doing lately, that she's been doing the melodies, the like the intro melodies from two different songs. One of them is Maps. Actually in Maps she's doing Maps the yeah, she's doing the instrumental transition, that do 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 do
Hmm.
do do. She'll sing that little riff, or she'll sing the intro riff from Hoobastank the Reason.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know that
And
riff.
I'll just be sitting around and trying to play guitar and trying to get, just run some pentatonics or whatever, just try to like do anything really. uh but she would be singing that, and she if I'm just like riffing and doing whatever, she well, leave it alone for the most part. um and then but if I start playing either of those little melodies, she
Yeah.
will run over from whatever she's doing. She will stop what she's doing, run over, and take the guitar away. So apparently, unlike Jason, who has not been able to get a copyright strike for his covers of Radiohead and the Foo Fighters, uh, my 9-year-old is effectively issuing me a cease and desist whenever I
That's awesome.
play these little 4-note, 8-note runs. But
She's censoring you, Steve.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I just it's just funny because, like I said, I'll just be sitting around and playing, and sometimes if I'm just playing nothing, like I'm just playing, strumming a chord or whatever, that's
Yeah.
enough. But there's definitely like songs that she will very quickly recognize and be like, no, stop playing that.
Well,
And Michael Krause says maybe I'm just playing it wrong. It's possible. It's
yeah,
possible I'm
that's true.
playing it
Maybe
wrong.
she's just telling you need to play it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
No,
it.
she takes the guitar away and tries to like hang it back up.
She's either a censor or a critic. We can't decide which yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I'm gonna go. I've got to go make lunch, and then I've got some recording to do for some tracks.
Oh, cool.
I'm putting some dobro on a song for somebody. Um,
Nice.
no, it would be nice, except it's in B flat. What? Like they want slide dobro, and while I can play in open tuning, it sounds better. I mean, play in standard tuning, it sounds better in an open tuning.
Mm-hmm.
B flat is nowhere near any of the open tunings I use. So I'm having to work out the logistics of getting a part for this. So
Right.
I'm gonna go spend 2 hours writing 15 seconds of music because they just want an intro and a break. That's all they want. And so
You got it. So I listened to Tim Pierce on Tone Mob. Was it Tone Mob? Listen to Tim Pierce somewhere. I think
Yeah,
it
I
was
think it
Tone
was.
Mob.
He was recently on Tone
And
Mob. Yeah.
and he was saying that when they call him in for a session now, that he's reached the level, and so this, because you just said you're going to spend 2 hours writing 15 seconds of music, but Tim says when he shows up to a session, they say, Tim, we need 30 seconds, and so he shows up, he listens to the track, he plugs in, he plays for 30 seconds, and then he unplugs and leaves, and then they cut him a check.
That's
So that
awesome.
you just need to get on that level where whatever you do the first time is good enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not D flat, Coyote. D flat would be easy. B flat is a problem. Cause
What's
the
the standard? What's the
the
normal tuning for a slide?
you got open G, you've got open E,
Okay.
open D. Those are the ones
Mhm.
I play in the most. To get to B flat, I've either got to tune up from G to B flat, or I've
Mhm.
got to tune down from D down to B flat, because it's like in that weird like no man's land or no woman's land either of tuning. Uh,
Sassy wants to know if you've thought about playing it in A sharp.
I know. I have. I've thought about that. Nobody plays in A sharp, Sassy, but people do play in B flat. You know why no one plays in A sharp? Because there's too many sharps.
It's a,
So to play in A sharp, there are 4 sharps and 3 double sharps. B flat has 2 flats. Yeah, sorry, that was theory. Michael Krause, you can, but then the action gets a little low to get really clean slide because I'm bad at slide. I'm not bad. I'm okay at slide. If I were a great slide player, it wouldn't matter. So, B flat is no problem, tuned to A, then D tune. No, it's actually tuned up to A and then up another half step, not D tune, up tune. I don't prefer F flat because 6 flats and a double flat is too much work. So I'll stick to E, which has 4 sharps.
This is always the problem with the last bit of cold brew.
Yeah,
is all the grind.
Yeah, you get the gritty nastiness. I get it. Well, y'all, I think we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go play some music and try to get it done. And lastly, Martian Murray. That would be helpful. I don't have a baritone dobro. I have one dobro.
Can you take your? Did you just get a Grez baritone?
No, I've had, that was my first Grez was a Grez baritone.
Okay.
And
Can't you just like loosen it up and then put the spacer on the nut to convert it to slide?
I could, but it doesn't sound like dobro. It needs that whole metal resonator cone sound.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I technically have 2. I have a Mule Mavis, but this track is really asking for the metal bodied resonator that I've got, and I can't just retune that easily. I'm gonna try.
But the Mule Mavis is a dobro-ish?
It is. It is. It's dobro-ish. It's more of an electric guitar with dobro sounds, if you think about it.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah. Justin, we are not in the same room. I'm just adding this after the fact. So, and yes, it sounds like I need another instrument to do this track. So, because I need an excuse to buy another guitar. I'm already staring at an American Vintage Telecaster that I don't need. So, but it's a good deal, so I'm staring at it. Stupid. It's stupid.
That's how I ended up with that Rascal bass.
Exactly.
Well, that was only $200. It's not American Vintage anything.
Yeah. Well, this American Vintage is down into 3 figures. So I know that's the look I made. I messaged him. Dude's got the paperwork. Dude's got the case candy, the original case, and he's like he's an hour away from me.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm fighting it though because I don't need to spend more money. I bought a lot of mystery boxes.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. All right, folks. Stay grounded and stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Be good to yourselves. Kind to each other and make some noise. Bye.
Bye.